Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a 2024 and up Toyota Tacoma, and we're installing the standard or the Pro Series ditch light kit. So let's review what you get with the M&R kit. You have your choice of either your standard or your Pro Series pods, wiring harness to bridge them together and get them to a power source, 2 grounding straps, set of brackets, and you get all the mounting hardware. No matter which version you're installing, the installation process is the same and the wiring is identical. Let me show you how to assemble the U-cradles on the pods first. So let's start with the standard lights. On the side of the lights there's 2 holes. There's a large one in the center and a smaller one that pivots the bracket on the back. And there's a U-cradle. We're going to slide the U-cradle with a slot towards the back and the center towards the larger hole. We're going to slide it in and use the supplied hardware to secure it. So a larger bolt goes towards the center of the light and a smaller one goes right behind it. So let's go ahead and tighten it, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite end. Same thing, the larger bolt goes towards the center and the smaller one goes right behind it. Perfect. So now the U-cradle is attached to the pod. Alright, so now let's do the same thing for the Pro. So when you turn it over, you can see there's 2 little pockets here. Those pockets are designed to hold a nut. So the coned part of the nut is supposed to go towards the center of the light. So we're going to drop it in. That's one. And we're going to drop it in on this side as well. So now we have the U-cradle. So the U-cradle goes right through on the bottom. And notice that the slots of the cradle are pointing towards the front of the light. So we're going to slide it in. And we're going to use supplied hardware to tighten it. So you're actually tightening into those nuts that you just dropped into the pockets. Alright, so now that we have the U-cradles assembled to the lights, let's install them with the brackets on the truck. Let's start with the driver's side. First thing we want to do is peel back this rubber trim piece. We're just going to pry it with our fingers and lift it up. That exposes a 10mm bolt that we're going to be using for our install. I'm going to use a 10mm wrench in order to unscrew it. And we're going to use the same bolt to thread it through the M&R bracket. So here's the bolt removed. The 2 metal brackets that you get with the M&R kit are interchangeable, meaning they don't have a driver or passenger, and they can go up and down. So I'm going to grab one of them, and the way I'm going to install it would be with the flat side towards the outside of the vehicle. So it's going to go like this. We're going to thread the bolt that we just removed through one of the eyelids, and we're going to install it. So after tightening this bracket, we could tuck in this plastic right behind it. We're going to go under it, and we're going to pop it back. Perfect. So now this gives us a great mounting point for our pods. On the driver's side of this truck, I'm going to show you how to install the Pro Series ditch light. I'm going to use the supplied hardware, and I'm going to feed it through the U-cradle, and then I'm going to use a supplied nut to tighten it on the other side of this eyelid. Now I'm going to use 2 13mm wrenches in order to tighten it. So when doing the final tie down of the bolt, this is where you decide whether you want the ditch lights facing forwards or you want them slightly to the outsides. And then we'll just tighten down the bolt. Awesome. Now let's do the same thing on the passenger side. Peel back this rubber piece and take out this 10mm bolt. So I'm going to insert that same bolt that we just removed through the eyelid. And just a reminder, the C part of the bracket, this part goes towards the outside of the truck because it has to go inside around that flap. Alright, when this is nice and tight, we can put the trim piece around the bracket and back in its place. So please note that this rubber trim piece, when it goes underneath the bracket, it's as flat as it gets. If you want, you can trim it slightly here, but it's also not necessary. On the passenger side, I'm going to insert a standard pod. I'm going to use supplied hardware. I'm going to thread it through the U-cradle. And with the supplied nut, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the M&R bracket. Now you can use 2 13mm wrenches in order to secure it. So when you're doing the final tie down, you get to choose whether you want them facing forward or a little bit to the side. You can also adjust the angle of these by tightening the side bolts. Great, let's get to the wiring. With your M&R kit, you're going to get a wiring harness in order to bridge your lights together and carry them to a power source. You're going to also receive 2 separate grounding straps, one for the passenger side and one for the driver. And your wiring harness, it has a Y intersection. If your vehicle is equipped with factory auxiliary switches, this is the side that factory auxiliary switch hookups would be. In our case, because the vehicle is not equipped with factory auxiliary switches, we're going to provide power for it on the passenger side. So we're going to take the Y intersection, we're going to carry that to the passenger side. One of the ends of the wiring harness is going to go to the driver's side, and the second end of the wiring harness is going to go towards our power. So whether you purchase the standard pods or the Pro Series, your wiring is going to be the same. Each wire is going to have 3 wires. There's going to be a red wire, which is the power for the main function. In this case, it's going to be the power for white light. You have the white wire, which is the amber DRL function, and you have a black wire, that's the ground. So when we connect it to our wiring harness, we're going to connect it to the same color scheme. We're going to take our red cable, and I'm going to crimp it to the red part of the wiring harness. We're going to take our white cable, we're going to crimp it to the white part of the wiring harness. And I'm going to use the black cable. That's going to be to one of our grounding straps. So in summary, red to red, white to white, black to black. The end of the black wire needs to be grounded to either the chassis of the vehicle or the negative terminal battery. So because we have a battery on this side, we can use this battery for a good grounding source. So I'm going to remove the nut, I'm going to slide the eyelid over the terminal, and I'm going to tighten it. Perfect. So to route this wire to avoid a pinch point, there's a little push pin here. If we remove it, we can guide this wire underneath it and it's not going to come in contact with the hood when it opens and closes. So if you just press on it and pop it up, it's a push pin. So I'm going to take all the wires and move them underneath this trim panel. That's going to protect the wiring from any pinch points of the hood. And now we can actually reinsert it. Now all of our wiring is protected underneath the hood hinge. Now we're done with the passenger side. We're going to take one of the ends of the harness and we're going to extend it to the driver's side and do the same thing. We're doing the same thing on the driver's side, red, white, and black. So we're going to take the end of our wiring harness. We're going to go white to white, red to red, and black to black. Black being the grounding strap. Then the red to the red. And for the black wire, we have the second grounding strap. Okay, let's find a good ground on the driver's side. There's a bracket here that holds the ABS system. We're going to use one of these side bolts. It's a number 12 wrench. We're going to remove this, thread it through the eyelid, and we're going to reinstall it. Get a few threads with my fingers, then I'm going to use my wrench. And same thing, then I'm going to remove this clip, and I'm going to pass my wiring underneath it. So press on it from the top, and you can tuck all your wire underneath it and repin it. So this leaves us with the last end of the wiring harness. So this is the one we're actually going to provide power in order to control our lights. Red is going to be the powerful white light, and white is going to be the amber DRL. If your vehicle is equipped with factory auxiliary switches, you would just use 2 separate switches to provide 2 different power sources. Because our vehicle is not equipped with factory auxiliary switches, we're going to use the M&R wireless controller. This stays in the engine bay, we connect it to the battery, connect our lights to it, and then we have a keypad inside the vehicle that controls all of our accessories. Therefore, we don't have to run any wires inside the cab and going through the firewall. So let me show you what you get with the wireless 2.0 kit. 2 power cables, a ground cable, the ACC wire, some terminal contacts and mounting hardware, and then our remote, 100 amp fuse, the actual module, mounting zip ties. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, let's open up the module. So we're going to take out these 4 Allen screws. So now we can take off the cover. Looking at this module, you have a couple things you want to notice. There's a positive terminal, there is a negative terminal. You have 8 different circuits, and they're all labeled here with auxiliary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with appropriate amp fuses, and you also get 3 trigger wires. If you choose to use the ACC wire, you would plug it in onto the first terminal here. ACC, all it does is when you get ignition, it'll turn on, it'll wake up the unit if it goes into sleep mode. We actually don't use it. The unit wakes up on its own if it feels that your battery is fully charged. So the ACC wire, this one's optional. So let me show you how to assemble the fuse, and we're going to connect that to the positive terminal. So you have two terminals. You have one that goes towards the battery, you have one that goes towards the module, and there's a brake button in here. So if you press this button, it actually disengages power going through it. So I like to actually reset it and then turn it on towards the end of our install. So reset, and let's connect the two power terminals. So one of them is labeled BAT. That's going to be the one that goes towards the battery. So I'm going to take one of the power cables. I'm going to slide it under this nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side that says BAT here, that's going to go towards the battery. On the second side, it says AUX, load. So this is the side that you want towards your module. So same thing, I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to slide the terminal underneath the nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side where it says load, we're going to connect this terminal onto the positive terminal of the module. So I'm going to slide it underneath. The main reason you want to slide it underneath here is because there's going to be a cover on top. We're going to loosen the BAT positive terminal, and we're going to put this wire with a fork under this bolt. So now I'm going to tighten it. So now we have a power to the cable. This end is going to be connected to the positive terminal of the battery. We're going to do the same thing with a ground, which is the thin wire. And this ground only operates the module, so you cannot connect other grounds to it like your light bar accessories. We're going to take this, slide it under as well. We're going to loosen this terminal, and we're going to tighten it. So now we have assembled a power, ground, and an inline fuse. Just a reminder, after you have everything connected to the battery, positive and negative terminal, unless you put the switch in line, there's not going to be any power going through it. So this is the off position, and this is the on position. So now we can go ahead and install this on the truck. So now we're in the engine bay, and this leaves us with two wires, a positive and a negative. So we're going to connect the positive first to the battery. This is the positive end of the battery. I'm going to loosen this nut. I'm going to slide our terminal underneath it, and I'm going to secure it. So we tighten that. We'll do the same thing on the ground, which is the negative terminal. When you connect the positive and the ground of the module, there is a green light in the corner that's going to light up, and this shows you that the module is connected properly. These are designed for factory auxiliary switches. We're going to actually remove the crimp so that way we connect it directly to the box. We're going to actually remove the ends, and we're going to strip them. With the two power cables, red being the powerful white light and white being the amber DRL, we're going to slide it underneath through the bottom opening of our box. There's going to be a cover on top, so that's the main reason why you want to go from the bottom. I'm going to connect the powerful white light to switch number 2, and then I'm going to connect the amber DRL to switch number 6. In terms of securing the module, there's two holes here, and you can see them from the back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drill two small holes on top of the fuse box cover, and we're going to secure it with bolts going through it. And another option, if you don't want to secure it to the top of the fuse box cover, you can also use supplied zip ties. There's ears on the sides, and you can secure it to the battery tray bracket. So now we're going to clean up the wiring. We're going to use some zip ties in order to make it neat, and we're going to also apply heat to these crimp connectors. But when you apply heat to them, they kind of shrivel up and become watertight. So let's start with the standard pods. This is the amber DRL. You do have two amber strips on the middle, and then with the flip of a switch, it turns into powerful white light. And here's the pro. With the amber DRL, notice that the whole light is illuminated amber, and you also get the powerful white light. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got the confidence that you need to install this product yourself. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. Please check out our night output video where you guys can see exactly how much light you get with this product.